Let's go. Doug and Rob on the mic, spring running the show. Turn the dial up, let the nonsense flow. Triptych in the corner, wagging her tail, ready for the road. And history in the rear view, spices in the air. Cooking up a story, got a guest in every chair. Entrepreneurs and dreamers, music in the night. On the Nonsense Chronicles, everything feels right. Turn it up, let the laughter roll. On the road with the heart and a rock and roll soul. From the kitchen to the highway, chasing every spot. We're living out loud, making magic in the dark. Spring's got the soundboard mixing up the fun. Doug's got the question drops, always on the run. Fifth's got opinions, barking out the truth. Every episode's a journey, every moment's living through. Turn it up, let the
Welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Chachere, and as always, I am joined by...
Rob Mendiola. Don't sound
Hello,
so
my
excited
friend. How
about it.
you? I am excited, man. I might be a little bit road weary, but I'm excited about it, man.
So you're calling in today. Let's let them know that. You're not in the
I am
studio
calling in.
again.
Again,
Yep.
and yeah, it's gonna be like that for a little stretch here. But what's the word back home? We get any rain?
Not much. It rained here and there, outskirts of Houston and whatnot, but nothing real major. No, not like they had forecasted.
Okay.
Of course, those
Yeah,
forecasts.
I don't want to
have been
get back.
wrong.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get home and my plants all dead. I got somebody watering my plants, but I always prefer to have rain as the backup.
Oh, it's been very hot and humid. Feels like
Ugh.
August already.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
And you wanted to complain about Gettysburg in, was it July or June? It was July.
Yeah, but that's northeast, man. That's not supposed to get Texas hot in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. No, it still wasn't as bad as it was back home.
It was still pretty hot.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was probably one of the hottest days of their time, for that area. I can't imagine. What it was like 96, 97 degrees, right? It was freaking hot.
It was hot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
No,
I know you were worn the hell out.
Yeah, I remember it was up there in the range, which was just
Yeah,
surprising. I was just shocked by it. Didn't expect it.
Well, to transition, we did see a lot of Civil War stuff, of course, when we were at Gettysburg. But
Yeah.
I went to Lookout Mountain this past week, and
I've seen some of your posts on your Facebook
yeah, and on Instagram.
and Instagram.
Before this episode, I'll drop some stuff on our YouTube page as well. But as I'm nearing my 60th year this month, I bet it's been 50 years since I've been to Lookout Mountain.
Wow, that's a long time.
But I did see something on the trail that reminded me, like I might have seen this before or saw it somewhere else and thinking, but I think I might have seen this before. But anyhow,
Okay.
yeah, I hit Lookout Mountain, and anybody that doesn't know, Lookout Mountain is basically around Chattanooga, Tennessee, but
Very southeastern Tennessee.
yeah, it's a ridge. I mean,
Yeah.
don't you know this stuff already,
I do. I know exactly what it is. I'm testing
Mr.
you.
Geology? Yeah, it's a ridge. It's actually, and the funny thing about it is, even though Tennessee gets all the credit for it,
Right.
I think 84. Yeah, of 84 miles, I think 50 of them are in Alabama and 31 in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a high. In fact, there's a lot of good hiking spots coming up in Northeast Alabama and of course northern Georgia. There's a bunch of good spots. built off this ridge. So, but
So did you go by
look
yourself,
out!
Doug?
No. I actually had a hiking buddy this
Did you?
time. I had
Wow.
my wife came along with me,
Oh my
and
goodness.
yeah. Okay,
You didn't have to
I
carry her?
guess. Well, before we, I guess, let's give a little facts on. I'm going to tell you this, but let me give you a little facts on Lookout to begin with. Of course, we talked about Civil War. Yeah, it was. It got the nickname, I think, Lookout from the Civil War time, and which I was thinking they have some markers going up there as you're going up the mountain, and as we were on a switchback, when you're hiking, that's that is,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm wondering in my head. I hope to God nobody had to drag a cannon up here because there probably were some deaths, if so, not from the cannon itself, but from dragging the cannon. Yeah, it's not easy, and I know it wasn't easy then. So it's I was curious. I mean, it's a moderate hike, though. At least the one I took. You can take an easy hike. And you can take I think you can take I know you can take an even harder hike.
Yeah, I saw your elevation gain that you posted. It wasn't that great, but wasn't that
no,
much? Like 500-ish?
No,
right?
and and of course now you have to understand I didn't start at the bottom of the mountain either.
Okay.
I took off from a certain point, but I'll get to that. I just was going to.
Well, I'm going to say.
No, I don't want I don't want you to do that.
I don't want to get ahead of your story.
Yeah, I just want to go over some of the facts that you would know about in some fashion or another, and then
I've never been there.
But you had the background and looking at land everywhere, man.
Yeah,
so
I know elevations and stuff like that. Yeah. Of course, I'm more of a subsea person. Sub-level.
Yeah, what's underneath? Yeah. But I mean, this is all created by what's underneath.
Yeah,
it's kind of pushed up, but they. The highest points in Georgia, I think it's around 2393 on feet.
Yeah, not very high.
And no, it's part of the Appalachian Plateau, which was formed by an ancient sea that was sculpted by erosion and blah, 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 creating steep limestone bluffs. All this can be found on Google and through reading at the location itself. But yeah, it's the hike we took. And I wanted to take it's called Mountain Beautiful Hike. And, we went up to the top, like they had the New York, regiment monument up at top, and they had the park itself where you actually pay. But we didn't have to pay because I'll tell you in a second, we parked down below. But because I went up to the top, drove up to the top, and I said, no, I need to go down, and then I'm going to climb back up. And they, I have America the Beautiful Pass, so right. I could, get in. I pay. It's a very easy and cheap investment. I want to say it's probably $56, something like that. And you can go in any national park or any national forest and several other national museums or whatever, and whoever you bring in gets in free with you.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's easily worth it. I mean, you could save the money in one trip if you went with a family. So go. It lasts for a year, so you can hit up tons of them. I also have one for Texas, but some of these parks around the country also that aren't necessarily national, they do accept that pass, which is kind of unique and cool, cool. So but so we drove down back to the bottom. We went to Craven House, which is a old stone basically, and a little bit more maybe home. I guess it's all closed off, nobody can go inside of it. Down near the bottom, well, it's not all the way down to the bottom, but what we drove up to, it's there. Then from there, you get on that hike to the Mountain Beautiful hike, and it's a very good trail, but it starts off steep. And speaking of which, the other person that lives in my house that came with me on this, right, This is her first one going out with me hiking. You know, we talked to Ronnie Leatherman early this year on hiking, and his wife doesn't. I don't think his wife. He said his wife didn't go on most of the trips, and I talked to him a little bit. We chatted a little bit this morning, and he just went up to. He was recently in Carolina and Tennessee, and he sent me a little video of him in Colorado hiking in the snow about a month ago. So I was like, yeah, and I was just telling him, hey, hiking season started, which I've been at it, I guess, a couple months now. But yeah, he's well advanced.
Yeah,
he's gone places that I won't go, and especially in winter.
Yeah,
but yeah, the person that also resides in my house that went with me on this one, this is her first
excursion
hiking outing with me. She did not go to the Enchanted Rock hike. She went, but she was waiting at the house. She was not. She was not on the hike. So she went on the hike today, and within the first 10 minutes, she was basically giving me, when's the fun part going to start? She had already had the frowny face. Yes, and it was funny as hell because, you know what? We got going. And she was just she always says that, she was at first she said she was looking for the flatter, easier thing. I said, well, babe, this is what we do. That's what we do at home because that's all we have.
That's all we
have a couple. Yeah, we got a couple spots elevation nearby that we take because it's the only thing we have to try, and we have to go over them like 2 or 3 times in a circle.
We've got like mounds, nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about steep. There's a couple steep streets, even, and this is off the road. When you're hiking, you got to be careful for roots and rocks.
Yeah,
and the path was good. There's only on the Mountain Beautiful Pass. There's about maybe 4 spots that can get a little wet. But they only last for maybe 3 to 5 feet. They're not big stretches. And there's rocks and stuff in there too. And when I'm talking, it's just damp. It's not plunging your feet into mud. It's just damp, maybe sole level or a little bit. Actually, I doubt most of your sole of your shoe stays above anyhow. But that's why it's good. It's important to have good hiking boots always.
Right.
It catches on to things a lot better than anything else will. Tennis shoes and all that are way too slippery, especially with rocks and even roots. But as you're transversing your way up there, and it goes into a switchback, climbing that mountain, and there's Pickett's line, George Pickett, from the Civil War times, they had his battery was located on a couple different spots. They had it marked. And the trail itself is not like when I went to Silver Falls in Oregon, which is a very wide switchback. Like you could walk 4 or 5 people across, probably 4 at least, very comfortably with space. This one, no, you got to do, you could do 2 people, but that other person would be on the edge. And there is a fall off on a lot of spots, so it's 1 person wide basically. And, but you're not edging against with your back against a rock, like, some adventure movie. This is you walking steadily. And, no, it's pretty steep, she got it. But once you started seeing things that were, the rock formations, and as we climbed altitude and could see out stuff, she really liked it. And by the time we got done, she felt, encouraged because she had accomplished it. And she felt very good physically after. Now, I think it bothered her knee a little bit. I think we're going to have to find a compression
knee brace.
Which I'll wear every once in a while. If mine gets sore, but it used to get sore running, but not really hiking.
That's a lot to do.
One day,
it's a lot to do to take on all automatically, and not have any kind of preparation. Just hit a trail like that. It's probably not.
I gave
a great idea.
Yeah, I gave her the best prep I could in the neighborhood walks and a couple other short little walks. But I mean, right now I'm trying to start her on 1.6 under 2 mile hikes.
Yeah.
Either out and back combined 2 miles or under that. Or I like the ones that are circular, but like this one was out and back, or it was basically up and back.
Yeah.
Down.
Nothing can
And
prepare you
the
for
up,
walking on rock and stuff like that. Dodging roots and
no,
stuff like
and
that.
and no, and then you have but it was steel, but you have some very steep steel staircases, a couple of them to climb up at the end to get to the top to the park, and but that's where the beauty of the lookout is. You can see 7 states.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, and
That's the payoff.
Yeah, that is the payoff, and it takes, because you're not familiar with the area. It takes you longer to go up because you're watching everything. You're being
Right.
careful, no snakes, anything like that. And then we didn't see any snakes, no bear. We didn't see any wildlife. We heard
Wow.
a couple birds, but that's it.
That's crazy.
But I take that back. We did. There were a couple of chipmunks or whatever, around, but nothing. And then a lot of squirrels. There were a lot of squirrels.
Okay.
But no big wildlife. And yeah, when she got, when we got up there, it takes a little bit longer on the way. Plus you're going up.
Right.
When you're coming down, it's a lot more familiar, and it's a lot faster pace.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful going down, because that's when people tend to fall a lot more often than coming.
Become a roly-poly.
And yeah, we made that joke like it, like the human. Me and Scotty did the human cannonball at Enchanted, where like you would hit people like on the cartoons and form a big ball going down.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like you don't fall. I'm talking about just
You're just gonna eat dirt.
You eat dirt, it'll slip to you, and just have to be careful of those roots and the rocks. Always know your footing. Like even coming down on the stairs, they're great. You don't see it as well as you would.
Did y'all use your walking sticks?
I didn't use it, but you know what? I'm not used to walking with them yet. Those little trekking poles.
They're really good for you, from what I hear.
I know, but I don't have one yet that I like.
Yeah, you need to go try them out for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I have something, but I don't like. But I have a big pole that's wooden, that's kind of light, that I think would be good, and I have a metal pole that's more combat friendly, but it's heavier.
No, yeah, you need a real walking stick, like because it does take a lot off your legs that you don't realize, and it
I agree,
helps reduce the energy that you expend.
I agree, and look, it's also a you have to have. If you have that in your hand, that's okay because you balance yourself. But you have to have front. You can't. I mean, I would break out my camera. I had my DJI action cam, and I had my my phone, out now and then. But I was wearing a beanie. I mean, hoodie, because it had extra pockets. Plus, I had a backpack and a sling, and you have to have extra hands in case you have to grab onto something or just to keep your balance, man. You got to watch your footing. You can't just be walking and looking ahead or watching your phone. You got to watch where you're going, I mean, because there is a drop off on most of these things, when you go on the hikes or when you're going up a mountain, there are drop offs, and you don't want to roll down the damn mountain, but it's a great hike. I would suggest it for anybody. The moderate hikes are not bad at all. If you want to start on the easy ones, go ahead. I'm going for elevation gain, and granted, total, I probably got about, I think it was under 600 feet of elevation. I think it was 560 or something by the time I got done on everything. I think for just the part that I had there, I think it's like right over 5. But I think by the time I got done, I think it was like 560 or something like that. But and that's steady, but man, it feels so good coming out. It's so much less stress on your body than jogging or running.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot less damaging to your knees. And it's fantastic, man. Like I said, that's been there forever. That's a great visit point for anybody to go visit. And you also have the the tourist traps, which they still have the signs up, but they're not as prominent as they were in the 70s and stuff when I was a kid. In the backseat of a car, a station wagon, traveling with my family, and you see the big signs: see Ruby Falls, see Rock City. Those things they're right there. Both of those things, they're connected. Like as you're going actually down the mountain, like I had to drive up a little bit to get to the hike site. You go right by Ruby Falls, and Rock City is right on the other side, so that's no big deal. And they still have the incline railway, which I do remember taking that as a kid. It's one of the steepest passenger trains in the world. So it's called the Steepest Mile. Yeah, it's been operating since 1895, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and allegedly people hang glide there too, but I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm not here to tell that story, nor will I ever be.
Right. That's insane stuff.
But man, yeah, that is insane. But you can get plenty of happiness just doing the hike. There's lots, like I said, and all the hotels around there cater to kids and all that kind of stuff to go. So it's a good family outing. I did see families out there with little tiny kids and bigger kids.
So what was the
summer
total?
hadn't even started yet.
So what was your total elevation? What did you were at? Like what's your high? What was your highest or average elevation?
Not that I gained, but the elevation itself.
Yeah. Like where was you starting? Above sea level.
I want to see. Well, you have to look at where the New York Monument is. Wherever that is, that's my height. So I don't know if that's about 19 or something like that. Maybe I'm not positive on that, but that would be my guess.
Okay, they're saying that's the height of the New York Monument. What is that? I'm not following that. They have different monuments to different battalions that fought there during the Civil War.
Okay. And they have one for the New York Battalion. And it's like a monolith. It's not as tall as the Washington Monument, but it's a sizable height there. And you get up to there and you get up to that park, and that's pretty much where.
So the air is still pretty good there.
Oh yeah, very good. This is nothing like out west. This is even when I had closed sinuses on one side, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal to do, so.
And what was your temperature like during this hike?
It was very cool. That's another thing too. It was in the 60s, probably maybe the 70s when we got done. Yeah, so it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, there were no issues to be had on that one, man. That was indeed a good walk, a good hike. You feel fantastic after. In fact, guess what I rewarded myself with after?
I don't know. Ice cream?
A cold plunge.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It had ice. It had something to do with ice, I figured.
Yeah, I had. Man, it was such a good time to do it. Because I was sore on my hikes today, and that was follow up. And but I did talk. Scotty was asking me, how can I find a plunge near me? I said, just Google cold plunge near me. Now sometimes that'll bring you to places that don't have it. You have to look up the beach side or they have cryo, and I don't want to do cryo. I just want the plunge. And I found a good spot as always.
Yeah, as always.
But that's it, man. That's it for today on Lookout. Some of these places I go, we're going to talk about, and this is definitely one of them. And summertime's coming, and you're looking for a place to go hike or bring your family and hike or walk around. And like I said, there's water parks, everything you could possibly imagine to keep kids busy. That exists here.
Yep, summertime's coming.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks for calling in today, Doug. And sharing your story.
Well, that's what I do, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
When are you arriving back? When are you coming back?
It's a mystery.
Is it? Okay. I won't bug you about it then.
It's 2+ probably. So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll keep you posted. We'll probably be doing a few episodes from the road, people.
Okay.
just stay tuned. And this is the Nonsense Chronicles, and we are out of here.
Later.